Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to learn about the basic concepts of chemistry. Student, it is very important to know the journal language of chemistry, or we can say that we are learning the communication language of chemistry. Okay, let us start with the thing which you are very well aware. And see, students, the entire like universe, we can say that we have divided according to chemistry into two categories. One is matter and the next category is energy. You will learn about the detailed studies of energy in higher classes. Okay, and today we are going to start this topic with the thing which you are well aware, that is matter. And you know that what is matter? Anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. Okay, and generally students, every object that we see around us is made up of matter, right? But what actually matter is made up of, that also you are well aware because you had learned this in lower classes. Okay, we know that a house is made up of bricks, so bricks are the building block of a house. Okay, similarly matter is made up of atom, so atom is called as the building block of matter. Okay, and generally when atoms two or more than two atoms, they combine, they form molecule. Okay, and molecule combines to form matter. Generally in biology, do you remember we had started the same thing with cell. Okay, cell, combination of cell, then we will get tissue, combination of tissue, then we will get organ, combination of organ, we will get organ system, and finally the human body. Okay, in the same way in chemistry, the matter, the initial, the smallest unit of matter is atom, and when two or more than two atoms, they combine together, they are called as molecules. Okay, and generally do you remember that in class 6 you had learned about the molecular arrangement in solid, liquid and gases? Okay, and they are molecules, they are arranged or they are placed in solid, liquid and gases, and there is a force of attraction between them. Do you remember what is that force of attraction? The force of attraction is the intermolecular force of attraction. Okay, now look at the diagram carefully. Atoms join to form molecules, and molecules combine to give a form which we called as matter. Okay, generally student, on the basis of physical state, matter is divided and classified into solid, liquid and gas, which we had already learned in lower classes. But chemically, matter is classified as pure and impure substances. Okay, so in this session we will learn that matter is classified into pure substances and impure substances. Do you remember impure substances, mixtures? In class 6 you had learned the chapter separation of mixtures, separation of substances. Okay, and we had learned various method by which we can separate the substances. Okay, so matter on the chemical basis, matter is divided into pure substance and impure substance. Okay, and pure substance, as you are able to see in the flow diagram, it is further divided into two categories. One is element and another one is compound. Okay, now let us start with what is element. Okay, all the substance which is on the earth, they are made up of certain simple substances, and these simple substances we cannot split into two or more simpler part. Do you remember when we had done photosynthesis and we will get the food of the plant, that is glucose, and we know glucose is the simplest form of carbohydrate. Okay, that means simplest form means which cannot be split again, or which cannot be simplified again. Okay, so here we are having element. Element is the substance which is the most simplest form. Okay, and we cannot split it into two. So this is pure substance, it contains only one kind of particles. Okay, generally in pure substance we are having only one kind of particles, whereas in impure substances it can be more than one. Okay, and what is element? Element cannot be split into two or more simpler substances, right? And element cannot be split into two or more simpler substances, but we are having compound. See the second category, we are having compound, and compound is made up of two or more elements. Fine. Now come to like more in detail what element is all about. So generally student, elements, as you know that it is a pure substance, it cannot be split into two or more simpler substances. Okay, and generally we will learn about the symbols which represent the elements. Okay, which, and these symbols are very very important to learn, because in higher classes you have to deal with all the chemical reactions, all the symbols basically which is used for these elements. Okay, so what is symbol actually? Symbol of element, it represents its name and atom. Okay, so I hope you are familiar with few elements like O2. You immediately know O stand for oxygen. H2 you immediately know H stand for hydrogen. Okay, so generally this is a simple chart in which you are able to see metals are on one side and symbols are written on adjacent to it. Okay, like we can start with aluminum. See student, generally we are having some basic rule for representing the symbol, and the first common rule is that the symbol are derived from the first letter of English name. You are able to see first letter of English name in some cases. Come to nitrogen. Okay, it is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 eighth one is nitrogen. So nitrogen N, carbon C, sulfur S, phosphorus P, and fluorine F. Okay, and on the second chart we can see that oxygen again O, hydrogen H, and iodine I. So these are the first, it is representing the first category, that symbols are derived from the first letter of English names of the element. Okay, and now come to the second category, that is symbols are derived from the first letter and another significant letter of the English name, like aluminum Al, calcium Ca. Okay, magnesium Mg. Then come to this one, argon Ar. Okay, then come to on this side we can see chlorine Cl, silicon Si, helium He, bromine Br. Okay, so these are the symbols which lies in these two representations. Now come to the you are able to see that few symbols like iron Fe is used, for copper Cu is used, and for gold Au is used. So what are these all about? See students, these are the symbols and they are derived from the Latin names of the element. So what are they? Are not the English name. What are they? They are the Latin name of the elements. Okay, like copper is Cu. Okay, and what in Latin we call it cuprum, Cuprum. Okay, that's why it represents Cu. And iron is ferrum. Ferrum in Latin we call iron ferrum, that's why it is Fe. Okay, so it is the symbols, it is on the basis of English name or it can be on the basis of their Latin name, and it is very very important in chemistry to learn. These are the shortcuts. When we are writing the reaction, we cannot write always the word equation. Okay, we have to write in a short way. That's why it is very very necessary to learn the symbols of the elements. Okay, now come to the next one, that is compounds. Now what are compounds? Compounds are what are the important characteristics of compound? As you know, all know that compound is the combination of two or more elements. Okay, and it is combined in a definite way. Okay, and I hope you are very well aware with the examples of compound as well. Do you remember what is What is the formula of water? H2O. What is the formula of carbon dioxide? CO2. That means here we are having two elements. One is, suppose we are taking the category of water, okay, H2O, that means hydrogen, one element, okay, and 2O, okay. O stand for oxygen. Oxygen is another element, so that means it is the combination of two element. One is hydrogen and one is oxygen, okay. And generally student, the second point of compound is very very important. The components of compound cannot be separated by any physical method which we had already learned in class 6, like boiling, evaporation, okay, filtration, loading. Do you remember distillation? So these are the physical method by which we are able to separate the mixtures or the compound, but here compounds are not possible to separate by these physical methods. For this we have to use some chemical methods like electrolysis, and in class 8 you will learn about what is electrolysis, okay. Now the last one is very important. This is the physical and the chemical property of a compound are entirely different from the properties of its constituent elements. Suppose, do you know like water, okay, liquid form H2O, and generally water is made up of two gases. Earlier it is in gas form, hydrogen gas H2 and oxygen gas O2, okay. Earlier it is gas form, but when we combine them together under a specific temperature and pressure, then we convert H2O2 gas into H2O, that is water, and water is having entirely different property as compared to the origin one, okay, the original one from which it is made up of, right? Now come to the next one. Let us see atom, zinc atom 1, okay, copper atom, it is one atom. But when we are having two atom combined, see, we are writing the formula of oxygen O2, that means it is the molecules of element O2. In ozone is, I hope you are you know what is ozone. Ozone layer is very important. It protects us from UV rays, okay. Might be in environment classes or generally in environmental study you had learned what is ozone, but the formula of ozone is O3. That's why it is having how many elements of how many atoms of oxygen? 1, 2, 3. That's why it is ozone molecule, okay. We are not calling it as oxygen atom. We are not calling, like we are calling a copper atom, zinc atom, because it is single, one. But when it is two atom, then we will call definitely it molecule. Why we are calling it as molecule of elements? Because O and O are same. Why we are calling it ozone molecule? Because here OOO is same element. That's why it is called as molecules of elements. Now come to the third category, molecules of compounds. Here now you can justify the differences between the molecules of elements and the molecules of compound. In case of water molecule, you are able to see that we are having two elements, two hydrogen elements, and one, what is O? Oxygen element. So here we are having, for making water molecule, we are using two different types of elements, and when two different types of elements, when they combine together, they are forming a compound, okay, and that's why it is called as a molecules of compound. So water molecule is coming under the category of molecules of compound. In the same way, C stand for, in the next category, C stand for carbon, individual element. Oxygen combined with carbon, two molecules, two oxygen combined with carbon, and Oxygen and carbon, they are different elements, and different elements are combining to form a molecule of a compound which is carbon dioxide. Okay, I hope with the help of this diagram you are able to know and understand what is atom, what is molecule of element. Okay, O2 is called as molecule of element. Okay, and molecule of compounds in the third category. Okay, is it okay for you? Now let us come to the next one, that is very important again, that is called as atomicity. Atomicity is generally, students, it is like number of atoms which is present in a molecule. Okay, like how many atoms are present in a molecule, that is called as atomicity. And generally, look at the picture again. First category is type of molecule, second one is number of atoms which is present in the molecule, and the last one is, they had given the examples like when the number of atom is 1, then it is called as monoatomic. Mono means 1. Okay, and here the example is helium. That means helium is monoatomic. And why it is monoatomic? Because it is having number of atom is only 1. Helium is having only 1 atoms. Okay, now come to the second category, that is diatomic. Diatomic means, di here stand for, here the number of atom is 2. That means oxygen 2 oxygen elements. Okay, then we are having third category, that is triatomic. Tri stand for 3, ozone 3, O3. Okay, and for 4 we are having tetraatomic, phosphorus P4 we are writing. Okay, and when it is more than 4 we call it polyatomic. Okay, and sulfur, because it is S8, so sulfur is a polyatomic. Okay, so this chart depicts the atomicity of molecules, like how many number of atom it carries. Okay, now come to the last one, which is very important again, because it is in your further chapter, coming chapters, when we are learning about acid, base and salts. Okay, ions are very important to learn. Ions, student, they are the charged atom or a group of atoms. Okay, basically in this you should know at least that they are cation with positive charge. Okay, plus is written on them, and they are anions with negative charge, negative, minus is written on them. Okay, and in acid, base and salt chapter we will learn about H plus is hydrogen ion. Okay, and OH minus is hydroxyl ion. Okay, if we will split water into two categories, two charged ions, then H2O, it splits into H plus, which is hydrogen ion, and OH minus, which is hydroxyl ion. Okay, I hope you are enjoy this basic concepts of chemistry, and please learn this language, because from now onwards we will use this language in our further chapter. That's all for today. Have a nice day.